welcome back to the second episode of Noir Note. Today we're with Mickey. Mickey, can you please introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Mickey. I am a sequential artist.
Some people might be watching, they don't know what that means. Could you explain what that means?
Okay, so sequential artist is basically any person who draws or makes any kind of artwork that is that is in the form of a sequence. So, like, think comics, animation, film, like anything like that. Yeah.
And you have quite some experience with this because you've published your own graphic novel.
Yes, I have. So, I believe 2024, I published my very first graphic novel, my debut graphic novel, titled "It's What Counts: A Carnival Date," and that is basically what it's about—a carnival date between two, I would say, like 20-something black people, and I don't know, I felt like a lot of black love stories that were just very cute and simple were missing from, especially from the comic genre, but like as a whole within our media, our black media. It just felt like something that was missing that I wanted to see. So I made it.
And it's great. It's sitting on my shelf right now. I'm looking at it. Definitely great. We'll definitely link where people can check it out at the end of this episode. But so that kind of leans into the topic because this is different. You're the only person who actually picked their topic. You wanted to talk about creating long-form comics. So can you explain what that means?
Yeah, so I think that one thing that I completely didn't realize that I was kind of stepping into was making a project that was going to take like 2 years. I whenever I first was starting it, I didn't think that it was going to take as much time as it did. And it was my very first project of its kind, so I didn't really have an understanding of what all went into it. And for anyone who does want to self-publish or publish a comic in general, or see, other graphic novelists have like these very long graphic novels, that takes a lot of time, and it's also like more than just one person. Sometimes.
You did all the work for your comic, right? Your graphic novel?
Yeah, I had a friend help me with coloring, but past that, or like filling in the colors, not like she didn't choose the colors, but she helped me fill in some colors, which was very, very nice to have. So I didn't do like all, I would say I did everything except for like maybe 2%. I would say.
I think a lot of people who aren't into comics don't realize that typically, or when things are traditionally published by the more well-known publishers, I guess like Marvel, DC, Dark Horse, they have a whole team behind that. Like someone's doing the sketches, someone's lining the work, inking, someone's doing the color. So like you said, this was a whole lot of work for you, even though you had someone helping you, an assistant. So what were some of the other difficulties that you had with this long form comic that you created?
Some other difficulties, I think, honestly, like coming to terms with my style, I guess. Like, I feel like now I probably would redraw it and then like just redo the whole process. But I think I kind of was like, I just gotta stick to it, because I've already done so much. And like, I think that was really like just one of the biggest difficulties, is just letting it be and like
Mhm.
just putting it out there, because I'm quite proud of it. I think that for the time period, for what I was going through at the time, for the skill level that I was at that point, it's amazing. But yeah, that was like a big I think just dilemma I was having, because you know how you can kind of see yourself improving while
Mhm.
you're doing something, but you still have to like kind of try and maintain consistency throughout like this project. Like it was almost like I outgrew it as I was doing it, which is kind of like just unfortunate, I think. um but i'm I'm excited to continue making more stories like it,
Yes, and I can't wait to
for
see
sure.
some more. You know, we've already seen some of the stuff you're posting on Webtoon Canvas, stuff on your site as well. Um, so what is it about long form comics that is appealing to you? Like, what does this format do better than short form comics?
I think, well, it allows me to explore a topic further, than like I think I love short stories. And I think that that is kind of the niche that I want to go into. I feel like having any kind of very long, like chapter based story is might not be something that I want to do just yet. Like maybe
Mhm.
in the future, but like for now, having these little like 40-page and under stories have been like just a really great exercise, I think, for my ability and like my storytelling. What's appealing about it is, I guess, to see to have such a large amount of pages
Mm.
available, like as a part of a portfolio as well. I think that's what's really cool, and it basically show that I can do that. Um, and also, I guess, like developing the characters as well,
Mhm.
in like showing the kind of progress, even if it's like, I don't know. I just think that I really hit like a really nice sweet spot with It's What Counts, because I definitely could see the evolution, and it was like perfectly condensed into like the story.
Mhm.
You know what I mean?
I do. When I
Yeah.
look back on it, or I think back on it, it was short and simple, but it did everything that it needed to do. I loved it for that. But you
Yeah.
mentioned this being a part of your portfolio, so that made me wonder, do you plan on self-publishing more works, or do you want to enter comics more professionally?
Oh, that's such a good question. I honestly, I definitely plan. Oh, that's such a good question. I don't know. I'm kind of figuring it out. I think I do want to do traditional publishing, if traditional publishing will let me in. But I plan on making a bunch of shorter form comics anyway. Like I recently made this wordless comic called Heartstrings for a manga contest. It was my first time like making like a manga style comic, and it was only 9 pages, but it was so like it was just such a interesting and just fun way to like exercise my abilities.
Mhm.
Um, like it and like that's one thing that I'm like super obsessed with, is like kind of testing out um kind of the limitations that I can have within a story. Like the one of the limitations was like I couldn't use any words.
Oh wow.
And then another one was like I had never done black and white coloring ever, or manga coloring ever before, so that was another like kind of like restriction in like kind of trying to develop a style within that format. and it was like only 9 pages. So I was telling a story with 9 pages, and it's on my website if you want to see it. I feel like that's what, like, not like, I don't know, what's a good term for this? Like, it scratches the itch that I have, kind of, with storytelling and imagery and all that.
So it sounds like you're very open to experimenting and trying new things, which is good. As an artist, I think it helps you evolve, helps you kind of figure out your style, what works for you, how to create certain pieces faster, because when you are writing or drawing these stories, you do want to create it in a certain amount of time so that you can get it out to your audience.
Oh my gosh, that's like literally one of the biggest struggles that I've been having. And that's why, like, I even wanted to have this topic in the first place, because I felt like I just took so long for 40 pages. And like, that's something that I really want to get better at, is my speed in like making comics.
That's so funny, because one of my questions was, how do you mitigate your time, like, when you're creating comics? That was one of the questions I had down here.
Yeah, so so that was actually kind of a restriction that I had with the manga contest, is like, I was trying to finish it in like a month. That didn't happen, so I found another contest and then finished it in 2 months. So I was able to finish a 9-page story in 2 months, which I feel like isn't terrible. I still felt like I was going slow though. So yeah, I don't know. I wish I could kind of figure it out so I could tell everyone. I guess like an exercise that I have been doing basically is doing like the 10 or less pages with storytelling and seeing how fast I can do those. And then I guess that's me kind of working up towards the big projects, because there's a big project coming up. It's actually 2 big projects. And I'm just practicing with these short form stories until I feel, I guess, a little bit more confident to tackle those bigger ones. In these long form projects, you're gonna have to push yourself, because a lot of it is stuff that you don't want to do. Like once you get past like the line art and the coloring, like those are my 2 personal favorite like things to do. Everything else after that is like, I gotta do this page, and then I gotta find all the issues on this page, and then I gotta like fix my typos if I have any, or like fix the bubbles. It's like, it turns into something very tedious and not so fun anymore. So I think one thing about like doing long form projects is you have to give yourself some grace. You might start crying one day, like, oh my gosh, like this is too much. But like, I want everyone to know that like when you are doing all that work, it is just like such an amazing feat, like whenever you get to the end. The comic space, and this is a tidbit of information that I would love to share, that I've been finding, because I've been trying to build a collection of Black made graphic novels and comics, and that is actually very hard. Through my, like, I like go to this like local place that like sells a bunch of like graphic novels and stuff that are like secondhand. And when searching through that stuff, I will think that like something is drawn or written by a Black person, but there are like no Black people on the team. Like they'll have like Black characters, and out of all of the the comics and the graphic novels that I've collected, I've collected over like, I want to say, gosh, I can't count them all like right now, but like I'm thinking 60, 70 comics, like in that range, and only 17 of them were black or black made, like either written by a black person or drawn by a black person.
Wow.
And that's me actively looking for black people, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So it is like just a very it's very I guess unprecedented. There's a severe lack of like graphic novels that are pertaining to black people. And can I like do like a little shout out?
Yes, of course.
Okay. So I am currently an admin to the Black Indie Comic Club. And so a very beautiful thing about being, and these are all traditionally published comics, I want to say. Out of all of the ones that I've been able to collect, they were all traditionally published. They're not like indie published or anything. But going back to the comic club that I'm a part of, I think what's so beautiful about being a part of that is that I actually get to see black creators making comics about literally any topics that they want to. And I don't think I really knew, like whenever I would go to conventions, whenever I would go to like just places where people were selling their own individual comics, it was just so rare to see black comic creators. And so it's nice that there's a hub for it now, and it's small right now, but it is growing, and I'm just super excited about it. But yeah, that was my little shout out. Like we are there, we're just not really getting these same opportunities. Like you think that things are getting more diverse in the comic industry, but it's not diverse behind the like behind the creators kind of thing. I would say, like in terms of black people, I think that it is more accommodating to other races in comparison, especially when it is like black led stories. Like I think it's kind of rare to see larger companies publish black creators comics with black leads. That's what I want to say. Like I think anyone can write any story about anyone that they want to, no matter, and like have whatever character main lead be black, or whatever color that they want, or whatever race identity that they want them to have. I think that is a very open thing for everyone to be able to do. However, I think that it's a noticeable thing when there are more non-black creators getting the opportunities to write stories for black people, or like black leading stories.
I think you framed that perfectly. Like what I was trying to say, the opportunities, they're not equal across the board, even though there's so many talented black creators, writers out there. So the fact that you're in this space that's trying to uplift black comic creators and put them in a place together where they can support each other and get their works out there is really beautiful. And I think that's also the point of like the Discord that we're in, where it's full of black creators. Like we create the spaces that are not available to us.
Yeah, and that's what's so cool about the Black Indie Comic Club as well, is like we have people that are selling the work. We have this like collective that like you get your items shipped out to the person, they go to a convention, and then they sell your work for you. So it's a very I don't want to say like I feel like it is a more accessible way to get your work out there without having so much pressure on you spending your own money towards like travel or anything. Like it's basically like just a really cool way to like promote these smaller artists without them having to have that much pressure on them to promote themselves. So it's just such a beautiful group to be a part of, and I'm so excited to like to be like almost like a leader within it.
Well, Mickey, do you have any final comments? You've given us a lot to think about, from creating long form comics to representation within the industry. Is there anything else you want to leave us with? Some nugget of wisdom? Or some additional shout-outs if you want?
I don't have any... Oh, well, I don't know. Shout me out, I guess. No,
yeah.
No, but, I just want to thank you for giving me this opportunity to kind of like speak my mind and stuff.
I appreciate you coming on and taking the time to, let me speak with you and being so open.